Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles, and I'm sorry, I know what's coming. Um, so, yes, this is Eisenstern, by the way, in the E75 on the Mines map, and I'm not even going to bother to expand the minimap here because that's really not important in this game. And as things develop, I'm sure you'll quickly understand why. This battle isn't really about Eisenstern himself at all. He's just the one who sent it in, for which I am eternally grateful. Now, quick disclaimer, at certain points throughout this battle I will be taking control of the camera myself. So, actually I'm going to enhance the minimap here just so you can see the enemy team very convincingly taking the hill right at the start of the game. And pretty much anybody who tries to stop them dies. But as I was saying, disclaimer, before anybody starts crying aimbot hacks, because it appears that Eisenstern isn't even aiming his gun, this is me taking control of the external camera. And you can tell because at the bottom of the screen it says free camera activated. This is me in the replay deciding where I want to be viewing the action. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with what Eisenstern was doing when he was playing this particular battle. Every time I do this I see complaints in the comments, oh, Jingles is promoting hacks. Well, this time, hopefully, the only people saying that in the comments will be doing it deliberately because they're trying to troll me. Right, which is fine, I get it. Anyway, this battle started off badly for Eisenstern's team and then very, very quickly got worse. Although I'm at a complete loss to explain why, because there are going to be twice as many tanks on the enemy team who do 0 damage in this battle as there are on Eisenstern's team. And yet, watch the scores. Also, keep one eye on this Skoda T27, because this guy is an absolute bloody rock star. Watch this. Right now he's thinking, we may all get horribly mutilated as a result of what it is that we're about to do, but hey, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever, so let's do this thing. Watch what he does to the ST1. How much engine power does that tank have? Yeah, so good job the Skoda T27. Balls of steel, that man. Or possibly woman, I don't know. So there's the team's first kill, courtesy of the T27. They've already lost 4 tanks, of course. They're about to lose a lot more. Here comes a Type 4 Heavy. It's a Tier 9 battle, by the way, in case it wasn't obvious. The position of the wreck of that dead ST1 is actually really good news for Eisenstern. He's just not quite really taking proper advantage of it. He should be reverse side scraping around it, but well, the Type 4 Heavy bounced off him. And he bounced, of course, off the Type 4 Heavy because you can't penetrate the front of that thing without loading the gold. He just took a huge amount of damage. From the T30, yes, a T30 has made it to the top of the hill. You know your team sucks when a T30 on the enemy team makes it to the top of the hill on mines. But while the position of that dead ST1 is great news, the T30's poking again and he bounced it this time. I don't know how the T30 managed to screw that one up. But while the position of the dead ST1 is great news for Eisenstern, it's not very good news for the Skoda T27 because he's going to take all kinds of hits trying to get out of there. The 110 has just been killed. Eisenstern's team have managed to claw another kill back, but they've now lost 6 tanks. There's no way the T27 is getting out of there alive. Nope, they've now lost 7 tanks. And things are going to get worse before they even pretend to start getting any better. Eisenstern starting to back off. He could definitely have done without taking that big old hit from the T30, although he was very lucky to not take a further big old hit from the T30. I don't know how he managed to find somewhere where the shot was going to bounce firing from above, but he did. The T30, however, is nothing if not persistent. There he is. Here he comes. Eisenstern, of course, is proximity detected. They all know he's here. I mentioned that things were going to get worse before they got any better. The team have just lost the WZ-120. The T-30 goes for the cliff dive. And it is successful. And yeah, that's the end of Eisenstern's contribution to the rest of this battle. And momentarily there, the team were losing 2 kills to 9 before the friendly ST-1 managed to claw a kill back, knocking out an MBT-25 AT. Here's the ST-1. A very strong tank, especially when it's top tier. Extremely tough armour when fully upgraded with that turret. The friendly Tortoise has just managed to knock out an S-tank, but then they go 6 kills behind again when the enemy M46 takes out the Super Hellcat. Meanwhile, the ST-1, who has a good gun, it's the same gun that you get on the IS-4, it just doesn't perform quite as well, with a slower reload and not quite as accurate. There's the T-30. I'm at a loss as to explain how the T-30 managed to miss that shot. At first I thought he was aiming for the hatches without actually, stopping and aiming, and it whizzed over the top, but it actually went by the side of the turret and just missed it completely. Anyway, he's dead, the team are now only 5 kills behind, and this is where things start to get a bit ridiculous. Yes, a Super Hellcat, which has 12mm of hull armour and weighs 20 tons when it's wet, just tried to cliff dive a Tortoise, which has 274mm of hull armour and weighs 77 tons. I don't know what that guy studied at school, but I'm willing to guess it was not physics. Unfortunately, the team are now 6 kills behind again, although the ST-1 does pull one back, and then the Schwarzpanzer 58, presumably inspired by the failure of the Super Hellcat, then decides he's going to show him how it should be done, and fails just as miserably. It's almost as if the enemy team were getting a little embarrassed that they were winning with such ridiculous ease, and then thought to themselves, whatever, let's make it interesting, let's give them a chance and feed them a few kills. The Tortoise just knocked another one off, took out the Leo, as the ST-1 and Type 4 Heavy exchange shots with each other. I've no doubt that they're both slinging gold in each other's general direction because, well, it's a ST-1 and a Type 4 Heavy. Meanwhile, the friendly Lorraine 155 artillery kills the enemy Pershing. The Tortoise claims another kill on an AMX 1357 that thought it was a good idea to sneak out in front of his gun. Takes a hit from the Carnarvon AX and is on 51 health, which kind of begs the question, as the ST-1 nails the M46 and it's 3 tanks left alive on each team, but what the hell is the enemy M12 doing? I mean, there's a Tortoise there on 51 health. What can the enemy artillery possibly have that's better than that, or easier than that to shoot at? Because, oh wait, there it is, finally. Now, he didn't miss exactly, he did hit, but he hit him on the gun barrel. You can see the hole just forward of the bore evacuator. Blew the tracks off, stunned the crew, no actual damage. The ST-1, in fact, let's call him by his name, Miluigi in the ST-1, because I think he's earned it, advising the Tortoise to fall back and let him go ahead and take the hits. Which is not a bad idea. And take the hits he does. But he did manage to take out the Carnarvon. And he spotted the Stura Emil. I can't really tell from here which gun he has. If he's got the 128mm gun, Miluigi could die here. Ooh, Tortoise, careful, back off. He is back. Yes, you don't want to bunch up like that when there's an enemy M12. He can take both of you with one shot. Speaking of which, it's good that the Tortoise backed off. Unfortunately, he was detected by the Stura Emil, and the enemy M12 finally finishes off the job that he probably should have been able to do at least 3 minutes ago. The good news is that, well, this whole being spotted thing works both ways, because the Stura Emil thought he was okay, backed off into cover, and got nailed by the Lorraine 155. Meanwhile, Miluigi, actually, no, we're going to back up here. And that's why. That was the coolest move I think I've seen a heavy tank driver do in World of Tanks in months. It's like he knew exactly what the enemy artillery was doing. He judged his reload perfectly and trolled him mercilessly, and I think that's fantastic. Stops in the bushes for a quick look. Thinks to himself, perhaps he's behind those trees, takes a quick shot, nothing, on the move again. M12 realising that the ST-1 has taken his shot, breaks cover. But don't forget, he doesn't just have an ST-1 to deal with, he's got a Lorraine 155-50 to deal with as well. And it's extremely unlikely, even if he'd hit, and he didn't, that he was going to take out Miluigi. There's the hit, mobilising him from the Lorraine. Miluigi could shoot him, but it's an artillery kill. It deserves to be done with style. Ramming speed. And that, unbelievably, is a defeat for a team that at one point were ahead by 9 kills. I do apologise for any brain cells that you may have lost as a result of watching today's World of Tanks video, but I feel that it was worth it in the name of entertainment. This battle, of course, was not about Eisenstein and the E-75. He's just the one who was lucky enough to witness it all as it was happening live. This is more, really, about Miluigi, Hot and Heavy, and Kirk 25 in the Lorraine, the Tortoise, and the ST-1 on Eisenstein's team, and possibly to a greater or lesser degree, the enemy team, whose rampant muppetry threw away a guaranteed win and handed 14 kills to 3 tanks on the winning team, who were probably kicking themselves right now that they didn't think of forming a battlefield platoon, because if they had, that would have been a crucial contribution. But I'm not going to hold that against them. I'm pretty sure they had plenty of other things on their minds at the time. Congratulations to the 3 of them. And thank you to Eisenstein for being there, witnessing it and sending it in. I do apologise, of course, to anybody who lost any IQ points as a result of watching today's battle, but for sheer entertainment value, I'm sure you'll agree it was worth it. That's it for today. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.